Community organisation like ours, and we're doing a whole series of workshops during all of that. One of the workshops is something that has turned into a kind of a real sort of pet project, a real kind of, sort of interest for me, is DIY bio, so amateur biotechnology. So one of the workshops that we're doing is we're getting people to genetically modify E. coli to make them glow in the dark. And that's something that a few years ago, if I had a sensible day job building software or doing software engineering, which is what I do a lot of the time, then these are the kinds of worlds which I would not touch.
So what have been the best bits and the worst bits of your career so far?
Career, that's a, yeah. Is it a career? I suppose it is. Best and worst bits. Yeah, that's a tough one. I guess the kind of worst bits is always dealing with growing pains from an organisation. But it's kind of fine. You've got to go through it. It's kind of you grow from it. Best bits. There's a lot more of them. There's all sorts, all kinds of stuff. Being invited out to Oakland, California by the FBI. That was a lot of fun. Like doing conferences is always good fun. Like presenting and running workshops and all this kind of stuff is ace. Blimey, all kinds of things. Building, getting the opportunity to build interesting things that are invariably quite creative and experimental. That stuff's always good. Yeah, there's all of it. Hanging out with like-minded people that are just sort of interested in kind of pushing the limits of the work that they do. All kinds, all sorts of stuff. There's a lot. The best bits is it's just kind of one long running best bit.
Looking for a pause for a sec. So what are your plans for the future?
So, one of the more immediate things for us that's happening now in the next 6 months or so, which is enormously exciting, is getting a lot of the building redone and refitted. So working with a landlord, it's an amazing building because it's a 19th century industrial era weaver's cottage. There's some serious history in here, but it's not had anything done to it for many years. And so working with architect Charlie Baker, we did the Yellow Bricks over in Hume, and a whole raft of other places. Just awesome, amazing creative architect. Working with the landlord, and then us weighing in as well. We're imagining the building, and work starts on that in the next couple of months. So we're completely redoing the front of the building and downstairs. And then beginning of next year, end of this year, we're going to be doing a quite major refit of the back of the building as well. We've got all this empty space just on the other side of that wall, just over there. So we're going to build up and like start filling the space out a bit more, which is super exciting. As well as that, there's a whole like raft of kind of like technology programs and various things that are being put in place. A few years ago, back when we started, we were very much at the kind of forefront of some of the new tools for building and for prototyping and making electronics, and you can now start to see the effects that has had on things that are available now. So stuff like Arduinos and Raspberry Pis and kind of low-cost, kind of creative tools for building new kind of gadgets and new kind of sort of like physical digital things are really sort of becoming more and more prevalent. And so yeah, one of the things we're doing is like taking that to the next level and doing like more of a sort of getting like right into making custom sort of things that a couple of years ago would have been inconceivable, like proper custom electronics. So like custom like mobile phone gadgets and like these kinds of things, which you couldn't have done a few years ago. Mm-hmm. But like even like right down to writing the software, making the circuit boards, finding the components, soldering like teeny tiny circuit like components into circuit boards and kind of crafting these new things. Right. And this is something we've been doing more of recently.
Uh-huh. So what's changed? I mean, as you're saying, you wouldn't have been able to do it before. What's actually changed? Is it the technology that's changed?
No, people have changed. That's the kind of beauty of it. Is that a lot of this stuff is it's been around. A lot of these things have been around for a very long time. I think the thing that's changed is the internet and kind of peer learning and kind of sharing. And people kind of documenting how they do things has really kind of has unlocked all this kind of knowledge that was there before. So you've got things like where a lot of the kind of prototyping tools for electronics were around 10 years ago, in fact more, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But now they are being repackaged in a way that you don't have to be an expert to be able to pick this stuff up and work with it. So it's introducing it to a complete whole new group of people who otherwise wouldn't be doing this stuff at all. Mm-hmm. And that's the real power of it. It's not even the thing itself. It's what people are doing with it, mm-hmm. and access to accessibility of all this kind of stuff as well. The immediacy of being able to pick things up and have a sense of agency that you can make something new.
Yeah.
So it's this.
Mm-hmm. Is it making a big difference to anything? Or is it like a minor change or a minor difference? As far as your job goes?
As far as my job goes, and as far as kind of, obviously, just a tiny bit biased. But yeah, I mean, it's a complete shift in how things are done and kind of how people approach what can be done. Mm-hmm. So whether that's everything from people 3D printing custom prosthetics for areas that have landmine problems, through to sort of co-creating and co-designing sort of like hardware at a grassroots level, sort of building new technologies at a grassroots level rather than having it sort of passed down from on high from IBM or whoever else. Mm-hmm. It's all kinds of things. Sort of people building everything from sort of like houses to mobile phone gadgets to prosthetics to just all kinds of things to kind of laboratory equipment as we've got downstairs. Mm-hmm. Things that previously you would have had to have commissioned companies to do.